Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about some of the absurdity you see from some of these primals, carnivores, whatever they all want to call themselves. And it's funny because they get mad at me and they think that I'm like anti-dairy or anything when I discuss this stuff. And it's hilarious because I am one of the most pro-dairy people you will ever meet, especially for lifters and athletes. Like, I am so pro-dairy that it's absurd. I eat dairy 7 days a week, year round, without fail. Okay, so let's be clear on that. I am super into dairy, super into it. So let's just drop that nonsense. The problem is that they spout a bunch of nonsense, unscientific garbage, BS nonsense. And big parts of it are things like the whole raw milk thing, the grass-fed butter. All right, let's jump into the grass-fed butter. There's no real credible reason to think it's a higher quality butter. Any way you break it down, butter is a highly refined fat. Okay, let's step back. Dairy, you take dairy, which is so awesome. Why do I love dairy? The high bioavailable protein is awesome. It's amazing. The high B12 content, the calcium, the magnesium, the potassium. Okay, these are the reasons dairy freaking rocks. Butter, you just strip all that out. You're just like, oh, we don't need any of that stuff. You literally are throwing away the most valuable part of milk. The actual reasons that I am pro milk, so pro dairy, is because of those things, and you're just stripping all of it out and making this refined fat source. That's all it is. That's all it is. So let's get that clear. All right. Then the whole thing, oh, grass-fed makes it better. I live in Texas. We actually care a lot about beef agriculture in general. The studies on grass-fed beef alone, like I've read all the stuff over the years. I've kept up with it. They do over at Texas A&M. I kind of grew up a little bit really close to that area. I was born not far from it. So they've studied it quite a bit, and they've even found the dietary and health benefits of grass-fed beef versus grain-fed is so negligible that it's almost not worth discussing. It is such minor trace differences. And you know what it is? It's that it's a hair less saturated fat and a hair more omega-3 fat, but it's such small differences that it's not going to have that large of health outcomes. Okay, but keep in mind, those benefits are less saturated fat. Butter is just pure saturated fat anyways. Like, it's almost all that's in it. That's the majority of what is in butter. But that's with the grass-fed beef, and the main benefit of grass-fed beef is that it's just leaner, but if you're eating leaner cuts of meat, you're not getting a benefit of that. So that's the situation. Like, grass-fed beef itself has not been found to be that different. So then people are going to talk about the grass-fed butter. What, you think there's going to be more omega-3 and less saturated fat? Butter itself is always absurdly high in saturated fat, and the grass-fed butter doesn't appear to be any lower. The omega-3 content, do you really think there's that much in there? Okay. It's almost non-existent also. All right. And what I mean is, you could eat 50 sticks of grass-fed butter and not get even close to the amount of omega-3 that's in like one salmon fillet. Okay, let's be clear on that. This is nonsense. It's complete nonsense. You're still just eating junk food. All right. Then we have the raw milk thing. Do people not understand that Louis Pasteur won a Nobel Prize for pasteurizing milk? And people are like, well, we drank all this milk forever and no one had problems. We did have problems. It killed lots of children. That's why they started pasteurizing milk. Do you know why we have all these other foods? Like, why we've created a lot of these things out of milk? Is because it helps with the bacteria. Yogurts, cheeses, all this stuff that we've made, these cultured foods It changes the bacteria and everything around it. There's a reason we've eaten these things historically. It's a great way to preserve milk. It's a great way to make milk better. And as far as the safety of it, raw milk kills people every year. It still kills people. Like there are people, and it's not many, it's a low count, who are still dying as a result of raw milk because of listeria and other stuff. Okay? And again, anyone gives me this, oh, well, I know this rancher or farmer. It's like, really? My family were cattle ranchers. You know what my grandma taught us as a child? My grandmother, Grandma Blaha. She used to pasteurize the milk herself. The milk that she went and milked from the cow, she had a whole setup and pasteurized it herself before she would give it to her grandchildren to drink. And she even knew and explained to us, oh yeah, it makes you sick if you don't. This is not good. Get rid of the bacteria, get rid of the germs in it. Okay, most farmers and ranchers even realize this. Let's be clear on that. Even my grandmother knew this and pasteurized it for us. All right, go look at the research. The benefits aren't there. This has been researched again. Let's be clear. The dairy industry would love it if they didn't have to pasteurize. Do people not understand from a business perspective this is beneficial to them? Of course they'd be interested in it. If it was safe and everything was good, it would cut down their cost to produce milk for you. Okay? They have an interest in it. They're willing to fund studies to look at it. Guess what the studies have found? These health benefits don't exist. They're they're imaginary. You get people like, well, I tried it and I seem to got this effect. You probably got some weird placebo or coincidence. Because again, all this stuff with allergies, inflammation, other stuff, it's all been studied. They're not finding it. They're not finding these benefits. This is quackery. This is goofball stuff of, well, because I guess it's more natural because it hadn't been pasteurized. Like, again, this is a fallacy. This is a logical fallacy. Pasteurization is good. There's a reason we've cooked milk and cultured milk and done all this stuff for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years. Okay, it makes it a safer, better product. And guess what? That's awesome. That's awesome. Right? Yogurts and cheeses and things are great. They're phenomenal foods for you, particularly for athletes and lifters. So we need to drop this goofball nonsense. This whole primal carnivore whatever crowd is literally insane. They're insane and they're anti-science. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.